Bomb Ass Moms? Welcome to the Bomb Ass Moms Podcast. I'm your girl, Erica.
I'm Ashley. And you guys, you won't hear Tierney because Tierney is out for a little while, but we still represent for our girls. So just know you're going to hear Erica and I conversing for a little bit on our podcast. So with that being said, since Tierney is out, we're going to kind of talk about our week, talk about our highs and our lows of what kind of happened this week. But in the meantime, before we get to talking about our highs and lows this week, we just want to remind you all that are listening to go like, share, subscribe, follow us on IG. We already got a few followers.
Woo-hoo. That's our followers.
Right. So just make sure you go follow us, subscribe. We will be on whatever platform you listen to. Just make sure you listen to us on the many platforms that we have. You can check it out on our page on Facebook and IG. And if you forget to go check us out on Facebook and IG, you can also email us at BombAssMomsPodcast@gmail.com. Let's get into it. Let's get
into it. So let's talk about how our weekend went. How was your weekend?
Actually, my weekend was great. I actually went out of town. Took my child out of town. It was very educational, and he had never been. We actually went to the DMV area. If you don't know what the DMV area is, which I know most people know what it is, but it's Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. We have friends up there. So my weekend was actually pretty cool. My work week, it was actually pretty cool, too. I actually manifested some things, and God showed up and showed out. So I'm super excited about that. Like, I really don't have any lows this past week, so that's a good thing. Well, the only low that I have is we're missing our girl Tierney, but we'll get into why.
Okay, well, that sounds fun. I had a chill weekend. So this weekend, I got a chance to actually get some rest. This Saturday, I made it a plan to actually stay in, not go anywhere, which I'm proud of myself because I did just that. I stayed in my pajamas all day long, some housework, chill with the baby, and also catch up on some shows because, girl, there's a lot of reality shows coming out like back to back. So I was kind of glued to the TV. Girl, and I don't know if you heard it. It's a show on Netflix I like. It's called Jenny in Georgia.
So I have not seen Jenny in Georgia, but people are talking about it on social media, but I don't watch much TV, so you can't really ask me. I did watch one show this week, but we'll talk about that later.
Yes, Jenny in Georgia is a very good series. Sunday, we went to JCPenney's and we took some family photos, but I'm not going to tell you how the photos went, but that's neither here nor there. We were able to get the family photos completed, but trust me, it was a long Sunday. I will say that. At JCPenney's about 6 hours. So
that's just too long for photos. Yes. I would have been over and done with. It's like y'all missed the meal, skipped the meal.
Yes, ma'am. It was to the point we had to take a break, go to the food court, get us something to eat, kind of regroup, and then come back. By that time, the baby, he was a little bit on the irritated side. I wish we would have, if everything worked out as planned in the beginning, I think the photos would have came out better, but not to say that they wasn't good because my baby did what he can do. And that's what I'm going to say because he's going to get ready to turn the big one.
He ain't even one yet. So you got to take it for what it is.
Yes, honey. You
got to take it for what it is. So it's all good. It is all good. But I mean, you had some highs in there. I hear a couple of lows, but we just going to pray that, the next week is even better than what this week
Absolutely.
So it's all
absolutely. So those were my highs and lows of the week, and at the end, of course, I did have some lows, but not too much. But again, my work week, it was a little tricky last week, but overall, I got through it. So let's get into it, girl. Let's get into our girl just gave birth to our little Triani. So shout out to Triani on the new birth of her baby girl. I am super excited for her and her family on this new journey. So I'm excited for her.
Excited. I'm super excited that she had a safe delivery. Triani came out quick, which I knew that she would deliver quickly because she's a multiple. Like, it's not her first baby. But, super excited for her and Chris and Tristan. But super sad that she had to leave us for a little bit. But it's all good. It is all good. We want her to focus on her new baby as well as her son. She does have 2 under 2, but we're going to get into it. We'll let her explain about that later.
Yes, I'm
So
like I said,
yeah.
I'm super excited for her. It's always a wonderful feeling when you have a healthy, safe delivery, and it's always a blessing when you can give birth to your child. So
Yeah, shout out to
yes,
Tierney. Let's
shout
give
out
her a round
to
of applause. Girl,
Tierney. Yes,
I'm
yes,
talking about.
yes.
Shout out to Tierney. But listeners, don't fret because our girl will be back. But we have to give her this time to rest, recoup, and just, take
Mm-hmm.
time with her family. And that's, we're keeping it moving because she's bomb over there taking care of two
Mm-hmm.
kids under two, with the help of her man, of
Mm-hmm.
course, but still. So Erica and I, we're gonna keep this thing rolling along. So if y'all have questions, y'all want to send us a message, y'all can keep doing that because we'll look into it and see it.
Absolutely. So, ladies, make sure that you get in there and make sure you email us, and even if it's something that we don't talk about, kind of give us some thought. You know, email us some topics that you guys want us to talk about. Questions, we are definitely open.
Very open. And if you forget to email us, it's okay because we know that social media is a big platform that everyone uses. So you can hit us up on IG and Facebook because we'll definitely be looking for those comments. But we're just happy that y'all listening. We're just blessed and grateful that all these wonderful things are happening in our lives. Not just Tierney having a new baby, but we can, get on here and talk about our highs and lows of the week. We can get on here and talk about how we want to hear from y'all. So thank y'all for
Yes,
supporting
most
us. Like,
definitely. Most
we really appreciate
definitely.
it.
So,
So Erica, what did you think though? We do got to get into this. What did you think that we had our little game plan of how we were going to do our little check in and set our game plan for our next recording, and boom, your girl say, "Baby, I gotta go to the doctor." Like, what was your reaction? What were your thoughts? I mean, we knew that she was fair game to deliver any day now, but I was banking
well,
on the 22nd. Like, I was the 22nd of this month, but we ain't gonna say which month. We'll let her tell you
exactly.
when. So I mean, I'm
Yeah,
just saying, like, it just threw a wrench in our plans. But God said, tell him your plans, and
absolutely,
he'll laugh.
absolutely. So, actually, I always felt that Tierna was going to give birth to Triana early. They usually say when you have children back to back, well, not back to back, but her children are what, 18 months apart, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me, but she'll
Maybe
quote she'll correct me on that.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I
Just
know
know
they
they
under
both under
two.
two.
So, usually when they say when you have children, usually back to back, your second one comes most likely early. And I had a feeling that she was going to come early. Actually, uh, on the last episode when she advised us that her biological mom was coming to visit, I had a feeling. I said, you know what, she gonna give birth to Triani then. I just got a feeling. So when she told me that she was going to the doctor and, the reason that they called her in, I was like, more than likely they are going to keep her. And I could just only imagine, like, how she was and what she was feeling because everything just went so quick. You think that you're going in for just, a visit or the doctor tell you something about some results or something, you thinking it's going to be an in and out situation. And then they're like, boom, no, you're going to stay. Because that's the same thing that happened to me. I was dealing with preeclampsia,
Wow.
tray. So I was battling with my blood pressure going up and, well, really, it wasn't going up and down. My blood pressure, it actually stayed elevated for a couple of weeks. When I went to my last doctor visit, they thought then that my doctor was going to keep me, but she just told me to go home and just continue to monitor my blood pressure. However, one
Mm-hmm.
day I was at work, and I just think for me, what came about my blood pressure was also work. I work on the phone sometimes. And when I was when I was pregnant with Trey, that week I had a rough week. Like, just dealing with customers, the phone ringing back to back, back to back, back to back. So I think that just kind of took a toll on me. And the day that I actually went in, I told Marcus, I was like, you know what, let me check my blood pressure because I was lightheaded. I just wasn't feeling myself. And I told him, I said, you know what, I think I need to just go back to the emergency room. I said, but let me check my blood pressure, which my blood pressure, it was high. And when I went to the emergency room which was my very last time of checking into the hospital, the doctor was just like, the nurses came in, they put me on the machines, just kind of monitored me for a while. But they noticed that they could not get my blood pressure down. Like they put me in a room, cut the lights off, just kind of just let me kind of meditate just to see if that kind of would decrease my blood pressure, which it didn't.
Yes.
It just kept my blood pressure actually kept increasing. So at that point, the doctor came in, he took a look, he was like, why haven't we had you admitted? And I'm like, I'm not sure. I was like, well, I was getting induced anyways that Sunday. It was that Tuesday when I went in because I had him on a Wednesday. So it was that Tuesday when I went in. But of course, I had already was scheduled to come in that Sunday to have him, to be induced to have him because of the preeclampsia. However, everything just kind of rolled quick because the doctor was like, okay, we're admitting you. We're going to go ahead and induce you. So at that time, Ashley, I had to call Marcus because neither mind Marcus he hasn't had an ounce of sleep. Like he was up that whole time that when he got off work, he had been just doing stuff around the house. And then I was like, hey, I'm gonna go on to the emergency room. And I was like, you know what, just go ahead and get you some rest. If something happens, then I'll call. But then when I got the call, he was around here running with his head cut off because we were trying to get my oldest son, to where he needed to be with my brother. And then of course Marcus had to get to me. But just all type of thoughts were going through my head. I'm like, oh my God, I'm finna really give birth, not knowing what to expect going through, this, because I'm already having issues, like with my blood pressure. So it was pretty scary to know that when you wasn't prepared for
Yeah.
something, it's like boom, it's gonna happen. So I can only imagine.
Yeah, let me just
Oh,
yeah,
that's good.
sorry for interrupting, but let me just say this. Let me just say this. Shout out to you. Shout out to Tierney for like
Mm-hmm.
knowing your body. You know when something's off. And it's a lot of people out there that don't really know or are not really educated when it comes to, of course, African American
Mm-hmm.
women in their bodies. And I feel like sometimes we have to be advocates for
Mm-hmm.
ourselves, even when, other people aren't
Mm-hmm.
rooting for us or other people aren't advocating for us. But she knew
Mm-hmm.
something was off and she went in and
Right.
requested certain labs. And I'm not, it's just because she's being a nurse, but again, certain things happened in her
Mm-hmm.
first pregnancy where she was like, okay, something is not right. And she went in, advocated for herself, and boom. So I knew when she said, hey, I got to go to the doctor because I got to get some labs drawn, and hey, I'm having these signs and symptoms, that it was a possibility that your girl was going to stay in. But I was trying to be optimistic. But again, you mentioned that, you felt off too when you were pregnant with Trey. And I just want to say, ladies, if you're out there and you're pregnant, just listen to your bodies. If it's something off, if it don't sound right, if it don't look right, don't be afraid to go
Mm-hmm.
in and get checked out and advocate
Mm-hmm.
for yourselves, because we want to make sure that you have a safe, healthy baby
Mm-hmm.
and delivery. So just make sure you advocate for yourself. So shout out to y'all for, advocating for yourself. And let me just tell you about your girl Tierney talking about, I didn't think they were gonna keep me. Yeah, girl, you knew it. And she was like, I hadn't packed the thing. So I can understand, it being a little frustrated and your anxiety going up because you're like, oh crap, it's really
Yeah.
about to happen. So I can see, where certain things you're not prepared, but then at the end of the day, to have a supportive partner or some type of support there to help you, that's amazing too. So she got it together, went in. Your girl kept us posted the entire time, which I'm grateful
Yes.
and thankful for, So it was just, I think that was the highest of the highs
Yes.
this week,
Yes.
knowing that our girl delivered
Yes.
Triani, and safe. She here. She feeding
Yes,
like no
she is.
other.
It was
Like,
like, oh my God. Feels like
so,
she's feeding every 20 minutes. I just got so tickled because I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. I'm just
yeah.
like,
So
baby, it's like I don't know how long she's probably gonna continue like with with the breastfeeding for her children, but
I hope, I
yeah,
hope
because
a
I'm
while.
like, I would feel probably like, not, I'm just being funny, but I would probably feel like a cow. Like, oh my God, I gotta put
No,
all this milk.
listen, Eric, I ain't listening to you, baby, because we already know
Yes,
how you feel
ma'am.
about
Mm-mm.
breastfeeding, but it is a full time
Mm-hmm.
job. But ladies, breast milk is free. Breast milk
Yes,
is free.
absolutely.
Breast is best. I'm gonna stick beside that unless something you know is wrong or you actually. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
anti-formula. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not anti-formula. Let
Mm-hmm.
me just put that out there because I did have to supplement for like
Okay.
2 weeks for my baby. So I don't want ladies out there to think that formula is just the worst of the worst. However, I'm always gonna advocate for breast feeding, giving breast milk, pumping, because it's natural. It's your natural it's your body making the milk naturally, and it's not with all
Mm-hmm.
these preservatives and things like that. So of course, I'm going to advocate for it. And then too, I breastfed for 13 months, and I know I am a living testimony that breast milk is great. My son did not get sick at all when we were breastfeeding. So I'm going to always be an advocate for breast milk. But if you have to supplement with formula, that's your prerogative, and we're going to do what's best for
That's
our
right.
babies, right? If that is what is best for your baby, then you do what you need to do. Again, I'm going to educate, but you or women out there have to make
Mm-hmm.
that decision. And I didn't want to give my son formula for 2 weeks, but again, his
That's
health
right.
was more important. You will learn that the benefits outweigh the risk, so you'll figure it out. But at the end of the day, where I stand is I hope that she
Mm-hmm.
continues to breastfeed, but we're not there with tyranny, and she has to do what is best for her and
Absolutely.
her children, and do what's best for you and your children.
Let
But
me ask
yeah,
you something. You said that you
it's
had
all
to
good.
give little Andrew formula for 2 weeks. Did something happen?
Well, see, no, nothing happened. It's like, you go to your regular doctor visits, your checkups for your child, and he kept weighing or kept being in like the
Mm-hmm.
0 percentile. And I mean, his developmental milestones were on point. It's just his weight was not. And my midwife told me, I went back because I was a little concerned. I'm like, okay, they want me to give Andrew formula for 2 weeks, and I'm just like, why? I mean, I couldn't understand why at the time, but if you really think about it, I'm small, his dad's small. He was healthy for the most part. I think the nutritionist or the
Mm-hmm.
dietitian or whoever was just trying to try something. We did it for 2 weeks, did not
Mm-hmm.
like it at all, went right back to the breast. My baby was healthy, again, met all developmental milestones. It's just his weight was low because we are
Mm-hmm.
small parents. So when I could get over that part and just accepted that part, I was like, bump this formula. Because at the end of the day, formula is expensive.
Girl.
Like I what kept me going with breastfeeding is I was like, okay, it's free, it's free, it's free. And that's what kept me going. I mean, what made me stop, to be honest, is I had to go back to work, and to stay on a pumping schedule was hard. And pumping for me, for Ashley, hurt worse than having the baby actually on the breastfeeding. Either way, I did
Mm-hmm.
it as long as I could, and I'm proud of myself for doing it for 13 months. And if I have another baby, I will choose to breastfeed unless my health or the baby's health is at risk.
Well, Ashley, again, shout out to you for continuing to breastfeed. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of the strong ones that wanted to participate in that. However, but you are right. Formula is expensive, and whoop whoop to this being our last month of purchasing formula, unless the doctor tells us otherwise. Because I believe after they turn one, they go to either, usually I'm gonna try almond milk just to see if he's gonna like the almond milk, between that and the 2%, so milk. So hopefully, he will gravitate to either one of those, and we can stop paying $50 a pop. Yes,
Yeah,
it
it's just
is.
too expensive for me. I mean, but that's just me. And I want to make a comment. You said you weren't one of the strong ones to breastfeed. I just want you to take that comment back, because baby, all moms are strong. If you give birth to a baby, whether it be out of your vagina or a C-section, you are strong for it. So let's retract that statement and say that you weren't strong, because
Yeah.
you are
Well,
strong, Erica.
you're
Keep that
right.
in
You're
mind.
right.
We're gonna manifest. You is smart. You is kind. You is
Oh, yes,
important.
yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. For that.
Girl, it sounds like we had an awesome week. I'm praying and manifest. I know that God may take us through a little bit, but it's okay. We still thank Him anyway. We thank Him for the good, the bad, the ugly, the in between. But we want to manifest positivity, and we want to manifest the desires of our hearts. So, listeners out there, just remember, some weeks may be better than others. Some things may be better than others. But thank God always, anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's all I
that's all I
got. All
got.
right. And ladies, again, always love, 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 love. Mhm.
Yep, that's the greatest gift. That's all we can ask for. That's the greatest gift. So until next time, thank you for listening to your girl Erica and I. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow, all the above. If you need to know what platforms we're on, go check out our page on Facebook and IG, or just send us a message via email at BombAssMomsPodcast@gmail.com. So until next time, ladies. wait a minute. Until next time, ladies and gents, because
Girl,
we
we
don't know
sure
who's listening
don't.
out there, baby.
Hey, gentlemen, y'all better get into it.
Get into it.